Hello, everybody. I know there's a lot of people from all over the world here, so whether it's morning or afternoon or evening for you, thanks for joining this webinar. I still see that quite a few people are still coming in to join, so I think we can wait a few more seconds before we get underway. Okay, I think we can start. So first of all, I'd like to say hello to everybody and just to let everyone know that this is not Ilan as well, our usual presenter. Unfortunately, Ilan couldn't make it today as CEO. If you guys don't actually know, besides being our presenter, he's also our CEO of the company. And he's very busy, and I can testify to that he's very busy. So unfortunately, something came up quite urgent that he couldn't put out. So unfortunately, he's not going to make it today. So instead, I'm going to do the webinar for you. My name is Errol Gamzu. I am actually the marketing manager here at Autochartist. And besides being the marketing manager, I also actually trade quite a lot because, first of all, working for such a great company as Autochartist, I get to use their cool tool and learn about it. And also sitting behind my desk all day, I get time to look at the charts also. So I'm going to try and keep it as short as possible and as straight to the point as possible. And please, if you have any questions, please write them in the box. Because it's only me today, I'm going to try and answer the questions. I know that we have Yvette also here who's going to also try and answer the questions for you. So if you have any questions as we go along, please feel free to ask. Okay, so today's topic is how to set stop loss and take profit levels with Autochartist. Before we get into that, I just want to quickly show you two things. So first of all, I know there's a lot of people who are trying Autochartist for the first week or first few days. So I just want to give you a brief summary of your trial and how you can get Autochartist for free. So if you go to our website and you click on Login Broker Partners at the top, you'll see here that we've got a whole list of broker partners. So a lot of you probably signed up on the website through the website and signed up for a trial period. So that trial period is 14 days long, and when that trial period ends, you are not going to have access to Autochartist anymore through that trial period. But you can get Autochartist through your broker. And on this page, you can see a whole list of all our broker partners who offer Autochartist. So whatever your broker is, you just click on wherever you see their logo and you'll get more information. Unfortunately, if your broker is not here, you can't get Autochartist, and we suggest that you actually sign up with one of these brokers. Okay, that's first of all. Second of all, I just want to show you quickly a new feature that we have at Autochartist. Okay, if you go into the web platform, this is actually the trial period web platform. The broker's web platform might look a little different to this. I just want to show you a new great feature that we have that I'm very excited about. If you click on Resources and Education tab in your web platform, you'll see here DEMA's Intraday Trading Analysis. What this is, it's DEMA's, what it says, it's DEMA who does our daily analysis on our blog. He's now started to do analysis during the day. So if he sees a good trade that he likes, and he does this for a living, so he's a very good trader, so he gives analysis and he posts it onto this website as he sees onto the web platform, as he sees a good trade. So I suggest that you all check it out, and we are going to add an email function very soon where you could get these trades via email. That's going to happen very soon. And you probably, if you are with one of our brokers, you probably don't see this page up. That is because we are still implementing it to all our brokers, and that should be done within a few weeks' time. But stay tuned. It is definitely going to be available to our brokers. Okay. So onto our topic. So let's just go here. So what we can discuss, first of all, I really have two goals for this webinar. The first goal is to show you an amazing tool that Autochartist has that many people don't actually realize that they have at their fingertips, and how it can help you set your stop loss and take profit levels. And second of all, I want to actually show you how this same tool can help you become a better trader. It's actually a tool that shows support and resistance levels and shows them very strong, shows those levels as being very strong. And I'm going to show you how you can use this tool to learn about how price moves and when you should take a trade and when you shouldn't take a trade. So let's begin. So if we go to the web platform, okay, I hope you can all see it on your screens. I'm just going to click on Forex 60 minutes. Okay. We have this button over here. It's called the volatility analysis. And if you click on it, you'll see at the top there's price range forecast, movement per hour, and movement per day. And I'm going to start with the price range forecast. So you see here, what is this? So you see it's got 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hour, and daily. What this does is it shows you the expected price range for GBP CAD at Thursday at 16 hours and 15 minutes. So what this is, it's actually 6 months worth of historical data where Autochartist looked back and said to however it works out, that at Thursday, every Thursday for the past 6 months at 4:15, this is how much price moved. So historically, at 4:15 on Thursday, price moved 15 minutes. You can see here that's how much it moved. So that you can expect it to move within that range. Okay. At 4:15 every Thursday, you can expect for the next 30 minutes to move within this range here. 1 hour and so on. So obviously, as you go to the daily, you can expect a lot more movement. Now, just to put this into perspective, if you haven't realized yet, I'm from Johannesburg, South Africa. So this time zone, it's actually 4:15 here it's actually not 4:15 now, but it's a little bit later. Okay, it's 20 to 5. But this time zone is with regards to my time zone that I'm in. So if I just close this quickly, you see at the top right-hand corner here, it says Africa, Johannesburg. So that's set to my time zone. If I set it to, a lot of people ask about New York. So if I go up here and I set it to New York City, time zone there, you'll see that it's giving the price data for the time in New York, which is early in the morning. Okay, it doesn't really make a difference to the price range forecast, but what it will make a difference to is the movement per hour. And this is really the most interesting part of this analysis, is that this shows you how much you can expect price to move. Because as traders, especially Forex traders, we need volatility. We need price to move. If price isn't moving anyway, then we're not going to have, we're not going to make money. The more price moves, the more we can make money. And what this does is it shows you the volatility of the hour per day. So right now I'm in the New York time. So you can see from here, these green lines over here, the higher they are, the more volatility there's going to be. So you see at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, at 3 o'clock in the morning, it kind of rises a little bit, the volatility, and then at 4 o'clock it goes very high. And then it kind of stays, sideways, and then goes high again. And then after 11 a.m. in the morning, it goes down and down and down, and then it's straight. So what this tells you is that the GBP CAD, okay, when is a good time to trade the GBP CAD? Well, if you're looking for volatility, which we are looking for, the best times to trade that, if you're in New York City, are probably around from 4 o'clock, or you can even say from 3 o'clock in the morning, onwards, and then it's a bad time to trade again after 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Now I just want to change back to South Africa just to make it easier for me. Where are we? Okay, there's Johannesburg. And if I click on the button again, okay, the movement per hour. Okay, now what you're going to find with a lot of pairs is that the volatility when price moves the most is usually during the London time. And that usually works across all pairs. Some pairs, obviously GBP is Great Britain, so and the London Open relates directly to that. So you're going to see that the volatility on most pairs increases during the London time. And you can see in South Africa that's 9 a.m. in the morning, the London Open, that starts to rise the volatility, and then, okay, kind of like lunchtime, it goes flat again. Then the New York Open time, it goes up again, and then during the evening, the volatility goes flat. So let's just show you another example. I know there's a lot of people here from Asia, so this, okay, do the odd JPY. Okay, and you can actually see the odd JPY, the volatility is actually very flat. It's very flat across the whole time zone. It goes up a little bit, okay, at 6 a.m. and 4 a.m., but not by much. You can see there that it's pretty flat. And again, this is the past 6 months worth of data. So if you're interested in trading, and especially if you're a beginner and you want to learn about different pairs and how they react and what's a good pair to trade and what's a good pair to trade in your time zone, it's a very good idea to actually look through this and see. So, US dollar CAD, you can see here again that this is, very much North America related. So you can see that the volatility is the most during the US session. So this is really, it's a good tool to actually just, get an overview, kind of like a psychology, because each pair has its own psychological personality. And it's a good idea to look at this to actually see how it works. But now what I want to do is I want to show you this on the MT4 platform. The volatility analysis on the MT4 platform gives you what the topic of the subject of the webinar is, and that is how to set your stop loss and take profit. So if we go to the MT4, sorry, let me just see this, okay. First of all, how do you get this analysis onto your screen? So I opened up this chart, it's the odd US dollar, 1 hour, and yeah, you can see the analysis here. Okay, on the right hand side you see these lines where it tells you where's price expected to move in the next 60 minutes. Okay, it can either move up there or down there to the next 240 minutes, and down there to the next 1440 minutes, which is the next day. So how do you put this onto your screen? So you go to your MT4 platform, and you should have Autochartist plugins installed. If you don't know how to do that, I suggest you go to YouTube. We have videos on how to actually do that, or check out the user manual. But we don't have time to really go into that now. But what you would do is, once you've installed Autochartist, you would go to Indicators. So you would go up top here to Insert, Indicators, Custom, and you would click on Autochartist Volatility. And this pop-up will come here. Okay, make sure you've got Allow DLL Imports, and you would press OK. I'm not going to do that because I already have that installed. Okay, just before we go on, let me just see if there's any questions that I can answer. Okay, I see there are quite a few questions, but they're not really related to this at the moment. There's a lot of questions about the stop loss and take profit, which I'm going to actually discuss now. So let's just carry on. So if you look at the odd US dollar, now this is actually a trade that I'm in, that's why this is up. And I actually entered this trade about an hour ago. So just as it broke down here, so I'm actually in quite a lot of profit here, which is good. So let's say you're in this trade, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a trading opportunity. It can be any trade that you see a downward trend here, and you think, okay, it's going to go even further down. So you decide, okay, I'm going to take this trade. So where do you set your stop loss and take profit? Well, this makes it very simple because there are lines across here. So let's say you want to go away for even a day or even for 4 hours. You want to just leave your screen going. You've got work to do. You don't have time to sit around the screen. So what you could do is you could set your stop loss at this line at the 240 minute, okay, and you could set your other stop, your take profit, down over here, okay. And let's say you want to only be in this trade for a short while, for an hour, okay, so you can expect price to go down to this level within the next hour. So you would come here and you would draw your line over there and over there, and this is actually quite cool because you've got a stop loss which is pretty tight. So you would set your stop loss at this level and you take profit at this level. I hope I'm clear. Let's just see any questions here. Okay. Okay, so we have a question. What is the green color and the blue color? So to tell you the honest truth, I actually don't know. That's a very good question. I don't think it's so relevant, but I am going to find out for you. But actually, I don't have that answer right now. Okay. Okay. Do you need to change anything in the input fields of the indicator? So what the person's asking is, if you go to the indicator over here, okay, now I don't know what's going on here. Just 1 minute, please. Okay. So you have all these inputs. Now again, this is a little bit of a technical issue, but should you change any of these input levels? So for this volatility analysis, I don't think you should change anything. Okay, you might want to change your time zone offset, but because this is set to your broker's time zone, and sometimes your broker's time zone is different to what Autochartist gives, and different to the time zone that you live in. So, but this is, it's a very in-depth subject to talk about this. And again, I think these types of questions we have the answers for, and if you email Autochartist, support@autochartist.com, we can give you the answers to those questions. Okay. But just generally, okay, just to set your take profit and stop loss, this is a great tool. It's a great, because you've got these levels already here. Okay. Now someone asked, these levels move a lot. Okay. And should you take your stop loss and take profit, should you move it along as these levels move? So for example, I'm looking at this trade now, and it is, you see that the 60-minute line is over here, but maybe in the next half an hour, the 60-minute line might move down a little bit. So again, this is the type of thing that you have to kind of get used to and decide for yourself how you want to do it. And to tell you the truth, my experience with this is that these lines actually, they don't move that much. You see, it actually just moved up now a little bit. Okay, but it just moved up fractionally, but it still kind of stays in the same area. And obviously, if price moves a lot, then these lines are going to move a lot also. But I wouldn't necessarily worry about them for now. As you get used to it and as you try it out more and more, you'll be able to decide for yourself how you want to approach it. But just on a very simple level, this is a great tool to use for your stop loss and take profit. Let me just show you another example. Okay. So yeah, you see US dollar JPY. Okay, I actually see there's an error here with the platform. So I'm not exactly sure about that. I hope it doesn't affect us. But yeah, you can see another example. I think that this is actually an error. The 60-minute line shouldn't be here. Should have probably moved up a little bit. So let's actually just stick to this level. Sorry, I'm just actually seeing that we are having some technical issues with the plugin that I'm using now, and it doesn't seem to be shifting the volatility analysis as you see it here. But anyway, let's carry on. So this is something that again, I just wanted to bring to your attention. It's something that can be very powerful to help you set your stop loss and take profit levels. And especially if you use a trading opportunity, you can see over here that, you know, let's say, for example, the US dollar CAD, okay, it just showed that there is a trade that has been triggered, a trading opportunity, and it is going up. So where do you set your stop loss and take profit? So obviously, if this is the type of pair that price moves, you know, like 100 pips in 4 hours, then you know that you're going to set a higher take profit. But if it's a pair that only moves on average about 20 pips an hour, so then you know that you're going to have to set your take profit and stop loss levels a bit lower. And that is why if you know, this MT4 plugin really helps you deciding where to go. But what I actually want to discuss with you is how I actually use this, because I don't necessarily use it that way. I think as getting started, it's a very good way to use this analysis. But I actually use this with regards to my support and resistance levels, because support and resistance levels in trading, to me, is the most important thing about trading. If you understand support and resistance, then you understand how price reacts to certain levels, and you understand that, you know, you can't necessarily take a trade if you've got you know, a lot of support and resistance levels right in front of you. There's no space to move, so it might not be a good idea to take a trade. So I know there's different levels of traders in this webinar, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about what support and resistance levels are, but I do want to show you that, just briefly, you know, for those beginners, what exactly I'm talking about. So if we look at this chart over here, let's actually go to the old US dollar chart. If we look at this chart over here, you can see that price moves up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay, so where price swings, that's your support and resistance level. Okay, you see, let me just draw this quickly. Okay, you see that I'm putting in lines here where price kind of like moved towards it, but didn't, you know, for some reason didn't break through it straight away, or bounced off a certain area. Okay, because it's the 1 hour chart, it's also a little bit choppy, so the levels aren't so clear. On some charts, it's a little bit more clear. But just to give you an idea, let me draw some lines here. You see how price moved up, then it didn't carry on up. Okay, it paused there and then moved down. And here was an area where it also paused a little bit. So when it came down to here, price paused again. And you see it went up again and it paused there. And now remember, it paused over here. So what happened before that when price moved up? Sorry about my line there. Okay, you see that price didn't necessarily just carry on and break through quickly. It paused here a little bit and then it moved up. And then it moved down and paused there on this same line again. So you can see already that this line over here is a very strong psychological level. Price doesn't just want to go to that level and break through. It wants to hang around that level a little bit, or bounce off that level, or break through. And what I found very fascinating is that this volatility analysis actually makes these levels even stronger. So what do I mean? So let's just take, for example, another chart, okay? So we got that. Let me clear off these things. Okay, so let's say I come to this chart. Now I want to draw my support and resistance lines. So again, there's a lot of information on Google about this. I'm not going to go into it too much, but just generally how I would kind of look at my areas. And I'm not looking at the VA, the volatility analysis yet. I'm just drawing my lines, okay? And the more the line touches, and then swings and then touches again, the stronger that line is, the more of a psychological level it is going to be. So now, what I found is that the volatility, the volatility analysis is actually, it shows that these areas are actually, it shows the very strong areas, and it coincides very well. So what happens is, if I draw my line again over here, so you see price moved up there. Now, look at this. The 240 line is right over here. And that coincides with the line that I drew without even looking at that line yet. So you see how it shows that it makes this support, sorry, this resistance level even stronger. And, you know, here is this 60-minute line over here. You can see that it actually is also a support and resistance line. And you see down here that these lines, okay, over here, they are also fitting very well with the support and resistance levels. So what I say is that if you have a chart and you draw your lines, and then you see that the VA lines are close to these lines, they're in the same proximity, you know that you have a very strong psychological level. So when price actually, let's say price comes up again to this level over here, you know that one of a few things are going to happen. Either price is going to carry on through there, or price is going to go down off that level, or price is going to kind of like hang around here a little bit, go sideways, and then go up or down. Sorry, my writing is not very good. Yes, let's clear this. So you know that price is going to react here. So you might be asking the question, okay, so if price reacts here, you're saying that's wonderful. Price can go up, price can go sideways, or price can carry on through. So what difference does it make? Because at the end of the day, you're still going to have the same problem. Price can go anywhere. It just kind of like stalls around these levels. So that is true, but what this does is that these levels, these support and resistance levels, they give you clues. They give you clues as to what price is doing. You see how price came up here? But you see how price hung around, and then price hung around even more, and it couldn't break through this line. Okay, it didn't break through. It touched there, but it didn't break through. Okay, so now I know that there's a strong resistance level, and I know that chances are that this is going to go down again. And where's it going to go down to? It's going to go down probably, okay, to this other level, and down to this level over here. To tell you the truth, that I'm actually seeing over here we have an error. So the power stats, the VA, these lines are not actually showing properly, and I'm almost sure that if they were showing properly, that these levels would actually, the 60-minute level would actually be much lower because that went down. But what I really want to do, I know I might not be so clear, but what I really want to do is get across the idea that a lot of people, when they first come into trading, what they do is they'll see a trading opportunity, and they'll think, okay, here's Autochartist, and you have all these trading opportunities, and look how cool this looks. You know, I'm just gonna take this trading opportunity because it looks good and there's a strong breakout. But wait a minute, what happens if over here there's a strong support and a strong resistance level? So I wouldn't necessarily take this trade straight away because I know that it's going to react to that level. So getting used to these levels are the most important thing when it comes to trading. And the volatility analysis helps you with this. I know it's not working properly now, but try it out for yourself when it is working properly, okay? It really fits in well with those lines that you draw, and it really shows you what strong psychological levels there are. And if you're a beginner trader, my advice to you is to spend a lot of time, take one pair, draw your lines across, look at where the levels are very strong with these levels that Autochartist gives you, okay, and make markings on them, and then see how price reacts to that. And the amazing thing about Forex trading, you know, it's a great business because You can get into this business and you can train for years and years without spending 1 cent. You can do it all in demo. So this is what I suggest. I suggest, you look at your chart and you learn how price reacts to these levels. And ask yourself, what are the clues? What are the clues that the price is giving me at these levels? And where do I think, because of those clues, where do I think the price is going to go next? And if you do this, I guarantee you, if you do this, even a year, spend a year doing this in demo, I guarantee you're going to be a successful trader. And one thing I'd like to mention, I'm actually reading a book called The Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. And it's a very good book. He's a very good writer. It's got nothing to do with trading, but his whole book is about how people become successful and how, like the Bill Gates of the world or the Steve Jobs of the world and, great sportsmen, how they go much further and become much more successful than other people do. And what is it about them? Why are they outliers? And one of the things that he mentions is that they spent a lot of time doing what they do. They spent a lot of time practicing. And according to they did studies on this, they say that to become an expert in something, you have to spend at least 1,000 hours doing that, practicing. And when it comes to Forex, it's no different. If you want to become successful at trading, you need to learn how to trade properly. And so what people will do is they'll come to Autochartist or to whatever signal provider they find, and they'll say, I'm gonna see all these trading opportunities, and I'm just gonna trade. And because of the adverts that I see, I'm just gonna make a lot of money. And that's not the case. If you want to become successful and profitable at trading, you need to put in the hours and you need to learn how price moves. And that is why Autochartist is such a great tool, because once you know these support and resistance levels and how price moves off of them, you can now take your trading opportunity, your chart pattern, and you can understand it so much better because you know how price moves and you know how it's going to react. And now that you've got a breakout from a chart pattern, that even adds to your trading. When you come to this trade, it even adds to that because now you've got this breakout and you've got these levels. So again, I urge you to try this out. Take this, okay, take the volatility analysis, put it on your MT4 platform, and see for yourself how the lines, draw your lines first, okay, then look how Autochartist's lines line up. And again, because it's not working at the moment, the lines are a bit out of sync. But when they are working, I'm sure the tech team will get them up working very quickly. And when they are working, you'll see how well this actually works. And then watch how price reacts to these levels. Watch price action and learn how to actually trade off these levels. And again, Autochartist is so great because this applies to whether you're a stock trader, a forex trader, commodities trader. Okay, Autochartist has it all. If you just want our favorites, okay, these are based upon performance stats. If you're a performance, statistics kind of person where you want to look at numbers and percentage and past performance, this is what we have here. If you want to, if you want to get expert analysis, we have that too with Demas trades. If you want to get email alerts, where you want to, filter down your trades according to what we tell you are the best trades at the moment, we're going to send you emails. You can come here to messaging and alerts and get that. If you want your trading opportunities, you can filter out. Maybe you're a long-term trader. You only trade daily, so you can filter out daily trades. You can, if you're a very short, you like the short term, you like the quick rush of it, then the short-term trades, we have that all. But like I said before that, learn about how price reacts to these support and resistance levels. And that is why volatility analysis is, for me, the biggest secret Autochartist has, which is probably not good because I'm the marketing manager. I should make it more aware. But it's not only the biggest secret, but it's the best tool that we have, because when price is expected to move within a certain time period, the volatility, okay, that fits in very well with price moved before. And with price moved before, that creates your support and resistance levels. Okay, so with that, Lenny, I know there's a lot of questions, and unfortunately, because Ilan couldn't make it today and I'm doing this by myself, I'm not going to be able to answer a lot of these questions. You know, a lot of people are asking us about risk and reward. So, for example, let's just go to the odd US dollar trade that I did. So, just to give you an example, I took this trade, so it broke out here, okay? I actually took it as it broke out here on this next 60 minutes line. You see how that was such a strong area and it broke out? So now, what I want to do is, where am I going to set my stop loss? So, I really should set my stop loss, according to what I've been saying, at the area before, over there. And even over there, a very tight area, okay? Where am I going to set my take profit? Okay, so let's first talk about stop loss. To tell you the truth, I don't set stop losses. Okay, I watch these areas. That's the key thing. In my mind, I have a stop loss. And I know a lot of people can't do this, and a lot of people are worried about profit, your reward, your risk to reward ratio. But I don't worry about that because you know, I'm more looking at how is price going to react. So if price, let's say, broke down here and then came back here, and it closed above this level, okay, I'll close my trade. It wasn't as I expected. But if price broke down here and kind of like came to that level, but you know, even went above that level, but didn't close above that level, okay, it dropped back down again, I'm not gonna close my trade. I'm first gonna see if the candle closed above this very strong psychological level. And where's my take profit gonna be? Well, to tell you the truth, you know, there's not much time to go into this now, but remember, when it comes to this level down here, you can expect that it's going to bounce. Okay, sorry, that was a bit of a crazy bounce, okay? But you can expect that something's going to happen because it's a strong level. So what does that mean? What am I going to do? I'm going to be aware of that, and I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to, you know, maybe move to break even. That might be like, you know, 30 pips already that I'm in. So I'm going to move to break even, and I might even take some profit. And then once I've done that, I don't have any risk anymore. So I'm just going to let the trade go to the next level and see how it reacts to that. So it's a bit of a foreign concept because a lot of people are taught about risk and reward ratios. To me, that confuses a lot of people. You've got to learn to see how price reacts. And I'm going to say this over and over again. The important thing is, how does price react? And if you just set your trade and forget about it and say, okay, I'm going to set my trade here and I'm going to put my stop loss over there, and my take profit over there, because that is, you know, 1-to-2 ratio, and that's how I trade. A lot of time you're going to get stopped out, my friends, because price comes back to that level. But how does it react on that level? That's what you've got to look at. Okay. Does it matter what time frame I'm using? Somebody asked. And Dile Masinga, I think you're from South Africa. But does it matter what time frame you use? No, it doesn't. And in fact, the higher your time frames you go, the more you're going to be able to see clearer support and resistance lines. It's less choppy. However, for the exercise that I'm talking about, where you're using Autochartist's volatility analysis, then I would say stick to the hour, because if you go to 4 hour, we only show you the lines from the next day. Okay, because obviously once you go to a high time frame, the 60 minutes falls away. And it becomes, sorry, it doesn't fall away, but it becomes much narrower, the space. And if you go to the 15-minute, then I found that the price is just too choppy. So just to learn about your support and resistance levels with regards to using this Autochartist tool, I would say start off with the 1 hour and see how price reacts on the 1 hour. And if you are going to, if you don't have time to look at the 1 hour charts, then it's actually better in a way to do the daily, but you're not going to have the volatility analysis. It's not really going to help you as much as on the hour time frame. Okay. Do you find some pairs are too trending to trade, support and resistance, and better for breakout methods? So the answer to that is yes and no. I'm not going to give you an answer because this is the type of thing where like I said before, each pair has its own personality, and some pairs are more volatile than others, and some pairs, might actually be very volatile, but at the moment it's in a sideways market. There's not much movement. So in the past they might have been. So it all comes down to experience and spending time looking at the charts, and that's really the answer. The answer is you've got to look at your charts, you've got to study your charts, and you've got to study, and you've got to kind of get a feel for the different personalities of each chart. But again, there are some pairs that kind of like they don't break out very strongly. Like for example, GBP US dollar is a pair that usually does break out very strongly. There's a lot of volatility, but it comes back to looking at this tool, coming back here and studying each pair and looking at this tool. Sorry, I have no idea how to get rid of. Okay, I'm not sure why these drawings are not here. Like I said before, it's my first webinar, so I'm a bit technically challenged. But it depends on each pair, but you've got to come here and you've got to look at it and you've got to study it and you've got to see how price reacts. Do I have a favorite pair for this method? Well, personally, if I'm if I'm learning about this method, I would honestly suggest that you use one of the big pairs like Euro US dollar, GBP US dollar, simply because there's a lot of volatility. Again, if you look here, this is a GBP CAD, but if you look, for example, if you just took AUD JPY, okay, like I said before, there's not a lot of volatility. So, when I'm learning how to trade and, learning how price moves, I want a lot of movement, really. So I wouldn't really use this pair. Doesn't mean I don't trade this pair. It just means if I'm going to choose one pair, I'd probably go for the Euro US dollar or GBP US dollar. Okay, sure, there are a lot of questions, and unfortunately, time is running out. Let me just see here. Somebody wrote 10,000 hours question mark, like I said before. Well, that's according to the experts. Study anybody, any famous person. They weren't born famous. They spent a lot of time learning how to do it. Okay, so I think I'm going to stop there. If you have any questions, I'm actually, how do I draw on here? What I want to do is I want to give you, because I know this is a little bit of a different approach that I'm giving you, I want to give you my email, and actually I can't write here, but my personal email is errol@autochartist.com, Errol. In fact, you can actually see it here. Okay, that is my email. If you have any questions, please email me, and I'll be very happy to answer you. If it's more a technical question, then email support@autochartist.com, and they'll be very happy to answer your questions also. Again, Ilan was supposed to do this webinar, and he was unavailable. He couldn't make it at the last minute, so I filled in for him. So usually I am the one answering the questions, and unfortunately I couldn't do that. So I'm really sorry about all the questions. And because of my first webinar, I'm really sorry if it wasn't so clear. We will put a recording of this webinar on YouTube within the next few days. And yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you for making my first webinar experience very enjoyable. And someone says I can't see your email. Okay, quickly again, my email is Errol, ERROL @autochartist.com. And if you don't see it there or you missed it, just email support@autochartist.com and ask for me, and I'll give you my email. With that, have a good morning, have a good evening, and have a good night. See you all next time. Bye.